It's really sad. It's honestly really sad how they really buy into this BS. Um, these girls are actually being really mistreated badly. I don't understand. I mean, they're just so lost. They remind me of relationships. You know, when you're with I'm a woman, so I can only describe a woman in a relationship with a man. It's toxic, is mentally physical abuse, and you know that it's not good for you, but because you're so used to that situation, you stay in it. And that's what they're doing. They're staying in this situation. They're so used to it. It's almost like when people don't know what love is, they subject themselves to this kind of behavior. They make excuses up for this kind of behavior when we know that they're not supposed to be living like this. They're making it seem like we're the crazy ones. Like what they're saying makes sense and what we're saying is crazy. They have a man who has an extensive background of generational curses, and he's trying to do the misery likes company. He's trying to make them think that you know they come from a generational curse too. This man literally told these women, if you want to be in my life, you have to leave your children. I was raised, my mother said, if you have a child with another man and you meet another man because the man you had that child with, you don't make it with him. You move on, you have a relationship with another man. A man is supposed to take your child as a package deal. That means if he loves you, he's going to accept your child. He's not going to say, in order for us to be in a relationship, you have to leave all your worldly possessions and give your child to the baby's father because it can't come over here. What man says that to a woman that carried a child for 9 months to leave their child to sacrifice being with you, give up everything to be with you? And on top of that, I come over there and you mistreat me. And my child is a toddler or a teen or whatever, and now they don't have their mother because I'm playing mother, servant, mistress, side chick, and everything else to you. And when you get good and ready, you pass me along. I don't get that. Why did you leave your real life to be treated like that? Why don't you know the difference? I don't care what struggle you had prior to going to combination. I don't think it was as bad as it is now. I don't care how messed up your mind was prior to going to combination. I don't think it's as messed up as it is now. You've given your whole life and everything it stood for a man that it's not even about you, it's about him. He's a man that doesn't want a woman to be a woman. He doesn't want a woman to even have a plan B. What happened to coming to the table 50-50? Not even feeling as though I'm a woman, a man's supposed to take care of me, but let's come to the table together 50-50 and take care of each other. That's not the kind of relationship Nature Boy has with these women. So why do they feel like they're so obligated to ride for him in time of need? And just a few weeks ago, he was ordering Zoka to slap Malia upside her head when they were massaging his feet. And then a few weeks before he got arrested, Malia left the house. Lord knows what was happening prior to Malia leaving the house. Malia goes down the street. Nature Boy orders the women to go down the street. and you know that they were going to jump her if given the order. They're jumping all up in her face, snatching things off of her, scaring her mentally. Because behind closed doors, we all know, and it's been confirmed, these women are putting hands on her. And she's the sickest one out the whole bunch. She's supposed to be the queen, the head of the women, but Natureboy, because he don't want to get his hands dirty no more, he orders the other women to put hands on Malia so he stays out of trouble. See, God don't like ugly because you did all that and you still got in trouble. Because you're locked up now. If they pull these people in, play a little game with these people and start throwing out numbers, oh, they'll squeal. Malia might even tell, yeah, he was abusing me. And ain't no telling what True would squeal and say, because I know True can't do not even a day in jail. The only ones that left were the ones that really have common sense. The ones that we thought that didn't have common sense, right along with the women and True, they're the ones that showed, oh, we have common sense. And we're going to use common sense and get up out of here. And all of his disciples, which happened to be the men who left first, left him hanging. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Did you hear about Solar? Allegedly, there's a warrant for Solar's arrest because Solar did comply with the orders to speak to 𝗪𝗫𝗧 to see if he could get 𝗪𝗫𝗧 to change her mind. 𝗪𝗫𝗧 obviously told the local authorities that Solar got in contact with her, but Natureboy. So what I'm saying to you is that's what makes it makes sense now why Solar went to Mexico. It also makes sense why Solar left. That was his reason for leaving. If he would have stayed around, he'd be right behind bars with Natureboy. And I'm quite sure they would have, fought to get him out. But Natureboy's first priority. So who knows how long Solar would be sitting? Because all that money, that alleged 60,000 that was left after Solar left, there was Solar said in the interview there was $60,000 left, or a little over 60,000 Natureboy's money left. Natureboy's not using that for no legal team or no legal attorney for no Solar. He gonna make sure he gets out before Solar, if he's even gonna get out. But that's why Solar left. That is why Solar left. And I believe that's why a lot of them left, because you're guilty by association. And my grandmother used to tell me years ago, back in the day, if you were with somebody that committed a crime, sometimes you could get more time than the person that committed the crime just because you was with them. My grandmother used to tell me this years ago, when she used to stay on me for being Mrs. Fast Behind. Because girls get in trouble too. They get locked up too, following behind misfits. People trying to fit in, followers. There's a reason why those disciples left. I'm quite sure they would have been placed somewhere else because Natureboy don't want them around the women. But I knew there was a reason for them leaving. A lot of them left because they did not want to be arrested right alongside with Solar, because the local authorities know that these people know more than what they say they know. And if the local authorities wanted to really go conspiracy, thank you. Yep. And people don't know you can get charged. They're not, listen, the local authorities see the videos. They see how the house is set up, how it's run, because he puts it all on social media. They all know what's going on over there behind closed doors in that house. They all see what's going on. They all hear what's going on. I think right now the local authorities are being really nice because they all could have been kept in custody. They could have even charged them as co-defendants. Put a Y in the chat if you know what a co-defendant is. A co-defendant, to me, I always looked at it like, is the person who committed the crime. If you were there when they committed the crime, they robbed the bank or whatever the situation is, then you go down with him. And they did not want to, they didn't want to go down with him, so they left. That's the only reason why they left. Even Jax, I think he was like the last to go. Jax was. He was riding with True for a little second. Jax left. He went to stay with his mother, but he's still pushing 3. Jax will be back over at Carbonation if Natureboy ever gets out. I'll tell you a few of them. Jax is one of them. Musa, he'll be back over there. Soon as the coast is clear and Natureboy explains that the coast is clear, majority of them disciples will be back. Natureboy ain't mad at some of them that left because he don't want them around the women anyways. They would have probably been placed somewhere else anyways because he's not going to have all those men around his woman. Only one he would have had around his woman would have been Solar and probably True. No 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. But they left because they could be charged with conspiracy. Yeah, the coast ain't clear. It isn't. Because you can run, but you can't hide. And all you do is make yourself look guilty when you run. So I don't know what Solar's going to do, but if I was him, I would have used my head. I would have used my head. And I would have said, Natureboy ain't fitting to get me up into this mess that he got himself into. Now, Solar, the coast would have been probably clear for him if he never would have called Nateri, but he did. Because that is how deep the brainwash is. Now he done put himself in the mix. And Natureboy's not the brightest bulb on the tree, because why would you say that on a recorded line? I'm quite sure when he said it, they waited for maybe a week or so. And then they probably called Nateri and said, did any of the Carbonation members contact you? Because there's a phone recording of Natureboy ordering Solar to contact you and talk you out of testifying. Hold on 1 second, guys. So that's why Solar's in Mexico. And Solar, let me tell you something, Solar. I hope you're listening. You've been on a lot of interviews and you try to detach yourself from Natureboy. I see why now. One, you're mad but you really should be mad at yourself. Because should no man put in your mind, you already see he's in enough trouble. Sometimes we have to use common sense and get up off this stupidness that you're on. And you've had time to sit with yourself. When you're around somebody that's bat-ish crazy like Natureboy, even 60 minutes of him being gone would give somebody enough time to sit with themselves and say, is this where I want to be? Is this the kind of life I want to have for myself? You still had time when you knew he was locked up and wasn't getting out no time soon to make that decision whether or not you was going to make that phone call for Natureboy and put yourself in the middle of it. It says, SL, can I explain that pull up to the people? Pull up to the, what do you mean? You want to come up on the chat, Shay? Go. I'm not understanding what you're saying. So yeah, I mean, it just goes to show that people get manipulated and they make the wrong decisions, and it could cost you your freedom or your life. And see, that explains the anger that Solar has, but he really should have it with himself, because some things are just common sense. And they try to act like they're so intelligent, and they're not. If you come up to the platform, Shay, go. I do not please. If one cuss word comes out your mouth, I'm not saying that you're coming up here to do that. I have to drop your call. I don't want anybody up on the platform who's going to be cussing. So if you think that you're going to talk with me, and you might not, some people talk and they don't do it on purpose, but they cuss. I don't want no cussing up here. So if you're going to do that, I don't want you up here. If you can talk without cussing, I'm good. You can come up. So do you understand that before you come up? Because I'm going to drop it immediately if I hear one cuss word, because, I let people come up on there. You said just drop the link, no cussing. All right. Don't be feisty now, because, Mrs. just dropped the link. Okay, so I'm letting her come up here. But yeah, he should be mad at himself. He really should. And now I think that he knows that local authorities are looking at what he's saying. He thinks that because he wants to backpedal and say these things about Natureboy, that they're gonna just say, okay, we're gonna drop that warrant. That's not how it goes. You're backpedaling because you're in your feelings, but that doesn't mean that the law is gonna say, oh, he's backpedaling now, so we'll take those charges off of him. No, that's not how it goes. So you know, we're gonna see how that plays out, but it's not looking good. No, I have no problem with that. I'm just trying to say I don't want to be editing out cuss words. YouTube is coming down on channel holders that are allowing people to get up on platforms cussing and carrying on. And also, they're tired of channel holders getting on their own platforms cussing and carrying on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to, wipe my feet off. Like, I want people to do in my house. You come to my house, take your shoes off. Nobody comes in my house and don't take their shoes off. And if somebody comes in my house and they know I don't want shoes on in my house, that's disrespectful. So the same thing applies on here. I'm trying to respect the platform so I'm able to be on here and not have any problems with, YouTube's house. So I gave the link. If she's coming up, she can come up. But I'm gonna still continue to speak my piece in the meantime. In between time, it's Friday. I get lazy on towards the end of the week because I go in hard during the week. So it's the weekend. I'm not gonna be on here long. I just wanted to chop it up with y'all for a hot little second, and then I'm gonna be out of here in a second. But it's just unfortunate that they're letting this man destroy their life like that. His life is destroyed mentally. He's the one that has all the generational curses, and it's just really sad that he's doing this. He's 40 years old. He's got like 20 years on these people, and he's just trying to just suck the life out of them. It's just really sad. It is. And then now he's sitting in jail acting like he's a victim. I don't understand it. But hey, it is what it is. Thank you, Trent. Noli Trent. Did I pronounce your name right, sweetie? All right, you have a nice weekend, First Lady. Thank you for coming through. Okay, guys, I'm getting off of here. Y'all have a blessed weekend.